Hey guys, welcome to today's FindTheBestCarPrice.com video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 version of the Honda Pilot Special Edition. This model in the video today has a sticker price of $40,885. Let's get started with our tour.
And something good to know about these Pilots is that every trim level is available in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, with the exception of the Black Edition and the Elite trim level that comes standard with all-wheel drive. New for 2021 is an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. That is now standard across all trim levels, as are the LED headlights. And one thing about the Pilot is that it hasn't been refreshed since 2016, but Honda has done a really good job of this model to the point that it has definitely held its own against its competitors over the years and still makes for a great choice if you're looking for a 3-row SUV.
The Special Edition is slotted in above the EXL trim level, and yes, I am going to tell you what makes the Pilot Special Edition, well, special. The differences are cosmetic and include a blacked out grille complemented by black roof rails and black 20-inch wheels. When paired with the exterior color of crystal black, such as what we see on the model in today's video, the Pilot looks rather stealthy.
Under the hood of this Pilot, with a crystal black exterior color accented by black interior, is the 3.5-liter V6, estimated to get 20 miles per gallon city in gas mileage, 27 on the highway, 23 combined, and that's not too bad, considering the fact that this 3.5-liter V6 puts out 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. When it comes to using the hands-free liftgate, it is a power liftgate, but if your hands are full, you do have the option to use your foot to actually open this. And if you're wondering how exactly does that work, Honda makes that so simple because there's a sticker right here on the rear door. Kind of easy to figure that one out. I'm going to open that real quick. Let's talk a little bit about towing capacity. That's going to range between 3,500 and 5,000 pounds. Also, when you maximize your cargo space by lowering these rear seats and the middle row seats, you can maximize the cargo space up to 83.8 cubic feet. And of course, there is a spare tire with this vehicle. No tire repair kit here. I know you like spare tires, guys, more than you like those tire repair kits. I don't think I've ever had anybody tell me they like those tire repair kits. And to lower the rear seats here is super simple to do. You just got the little strap you pull on right here. That's going to let you just move that forward. And when it comes to getting into the rear seats from the rear doors back here, there's two different options there depending on what you want to do. There is an option on the seat, on the side of the seat itself, and on the rear that's really meant in case somebody hops out and doesn't let the rear passengers out. Well, they can push that button, but I found it easier just to reach up and push the button on the back. Just my personal preference. And of course, you've got the controls for your climate control here in the rear, as you do have tri-zone climate control, dual in the front, single here in the rear. You can control fan speed and temperature and all that good stuff there. Got your connectivity there as well. And while we're at it, because I know I did not mention this earlier, and it's funny, if I don't mention it, someone always asks, do the side view mirrors have turn signal indicators built in? Well, I'll let you just see for yourself on the screen. And the answer, of course, is yes. Front seats are very comfortable here for driver and passenger. As you can see, you've got an armrest for the driver and passenger seats here in the front. Everything you would expect. You do have seat memory here for the driver's seat, 2 different settings for 2 different drivers, and really just an easy to use overall dashboard with all of the latest technology that at least has been available since 2016 and a little bit beyond. There have been some updates and changes here. Your steering wheel mounted controls, and having multiple driving modes such as drive, sport, and snow. Obviously, you're going to have the paddle shifters here on the steering wheel for if you wish to row through the gears, so to speak, in your Pilot. Somehow that just doesn't seem to fit, but maybe if you're having a rough day and you go out on the back roads, you can kind of cruise around and feel like you're in a more racy vehicle with your Pilot with those paddle shifters. I don't know. And on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, let's start with the right, since I started to say right before I stuttered a little bit there. On the right-hand side, the controls for your windshield wipers, front and rear, running the windshield washer fluid, all that good stuff, super easy. But over here on the left-hand side, that lever that tends to catch a lot of cobwebs other than controlling the headlights, which that functionality is there too, but it's also the turn signal stalk. When you're changing lanes to the left or to the right, you use that to let people know what you're doing. That's a novel idea for a lot of drivers here in Northwest Louisiana, but yet there it is. Steering wheel mounted controls, of course, everything pretty simple and self-explanatory. A nice dashboard here for the instrument cluster, easy to use, easy to operate, a lot of different information you can run through right there. And of course, the infotainment screen here, one of the easiest to use. And I know a lot of people are gonna say that's very outdated. Well, we're gonna see what comes in 2023. In fact, if you want a little bit of a hint of what might change when that happens, take a look at the 2021 and obviously forthcoming 2022 models of the Honda Ridgeline. And I think we might have a little bit of an idea, although Honda hasn't officially said anything as of the date that I'm filming this video in August of 2021. And like I said, dual zone climate control right here in the front. You've got your push button start for the engine and heated seats, something we're not going to need for a really long time here in Northwest Louisiana to come. At least I don't think so. More connectivity there and wireless charging for your cell phone. Got the push button shifter right here. And I like to ask people just for your opinion, do you like the push button shifter right here, or would you rather have a column shift or maybe just a regular shifter here in the center, kind of like other models have? Always curious to know. And an interesting little fact for those who have maybe never owned a vehicle with this type of technology, such as the push button start for the engine to start the engine and shut it back down. If you happen to be in a hurry or whatever, maybe not paying attention, I don't know, a lot of things could happen, and you're still in drive when you hit this button right here. What's going to happen? Well, it's going to go ahead and shut the engine down. It's also automatically going to put the transmission into park. And I like the fact that you have the ability to turn that auto stop start feature off right there. I always like to turn that off when I'm driving. And why is that? Because that will wear your starter out a lot faster than it would otherwise. And of course, you've got your console right here, plenty of space down in there, more connectivity if you need it. But the thing I really like to talk about, again, I said it earlier in the video, but we're about to experience it for ourselves, the ride quality and how the Pilot drives. That's a good segue into the test drive. Okay guys, we're gonna hop out on the road here for our quick test drive, and a couple of things that I need to mention that I didn't mention earlier. Of course, you're going to have the backup camera. I think everybody probably knows by now. In the United States, at least, you will not buy a vehicle that does not have a backup camera from this point forward, which, you know, I think that's a good thing. I like that. It seems to be a nice convenience, nice feature to have. Let's talk a little bit about a great feature again that I didn't mention earlier, but you did see it on the screen at one point, I believe, and that is the adjustment for the steering wheel. Tilt and telescopically adjustable. Is that actually proper terminology? Well, to be honest, I'm not sure, but maybe I invented some new terminology right there. But it is adjustable, albeit manually adjustable, but that is very helpful when it comes to driving. And as we cruise down the road here, of course, there's really very few places in the city of Shreveport, Louisiana, where I live, that you can't drive without testing your shocks and suspension. And so as I drive down the road here, I'm just reminded of how compliant this model is when you're cruising down the road. It's comfortable and it has that nice balance. I talk about this sometimes in my video where sometimes one or the other cancels it out. And what I mean by that is you might have a vehicle that rides well, but the seats are not comfortable. Well, that's definitely not the case here. You have comfortable seating and an overall comfortable ride quality. And I'm gonna drop into sport mode here and just push the pedal a little bit here. If you need to get down the road, this little 6-cylinder gets you down the road with no problem. By the way, the traffic is moving very slowly. I'm not really driving that fast. Before anybody says anything in the comments, hint, hint, David. Okay, just picking on a friend there. But overall, I must say, if this was something I was looking for, I definitely would have to say that the Pilot would be a front runner. A lot of great little features, a lot of storage throughout the interior, and just an overall pleasant driving experience. Front seats, of course, are power seats. Both are adjustable. Quite a few different places that range as far as where you can move the seat back, the position, the height, all that kind of stuff, depending on what your personal situation is. Now, as I'm going down the road here, just kind of wondering about the driving aids such as lane keep assist, there have been reports that I've read that say sometimes some of these driver aids are a little overly sensitive. So what do I have to say about that? Well, it's really hard to tell for sure, but I think as I start to move towards the center line and just see how the lane keep assist works, it does seem that it's not quite as sensitive as it used to be. I think Honda has definitely seen your comments on YouTube, listened to what you've had to say as far as the consumer goes, and it really seems that these driving aids are not quite as sensitive as they used to be. That's a good thing. And I must say, I'm not surprised. Honda's pretty good about fixing things like that. Now, I haven't driven one of these in a while, so it's hard to say. Different people are going to have different opinions on that. But one way or another, just want to kind of throw that out there. But overall, I must say, as I'm driving down the road here, my score is still high, even though the Pilot is going to get a refresh. Hasn't happened yet. I did mention the changes for 2022. But here's the thing. There are a lot of things concerning the Pilot that don't necessarily need to change. Honda does have a reputation for improving upon something that didn't necessarily need to be improved upon and getting away with it. Sometimes car makers do that and they change something or fix something and it didn't necessarily need it. But here, I think Honda's pretty good with that. The one thing that I wish was still available, and again, I'd like your feedback on this down in the comments, Lane Watch, Honda Lane Watch. That feature, if you aren't familiar with that, where when you turn on your right-hand turn signal, you would actually see on the infotainment screen the view from the side view mirror. There was a camera down there on the bottom of the mirror that would show you the view so that you could see what was in your blind spot and not even have to look over your shoulder necessarily. I really liked that feature, but obviously that has been slowly phased out. I don't know that it's even available on any 2022 models. But one way or another, tell me what you think about that feature.
To learn more about the model in today's video, visit the link in the description for a detailed comparison between trims and pricing for the vehicle we featured or any other vehicle you are interested in. These pages feature information such as our recommended trim level based on price, value, and features. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. We look forward to seeing you next time.